Hi, sir.
Hi.
Shall we start the session?
Yes.
Yes, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm really happy to welcome you all to Tech Talks by .com Infoway, episode 2. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, whether you're here as a designer, developer, product thinker, founder, or simply someone curious about how games are evolving. You're in the right place. Today, we are diving into something that is reshaping the way digital experiences are built. Topic is the future of game apps, UX, AI, and scalable design systems. This isn't just about games looking better. It's about how they retain users, how they scale from thousands to millions, how AI is becoming part of the creative process, and how design systems help teams move faster without losing consistency. Begin with a keynote session from our guest speaker, then move into a Q&A session, and finally open the floor to your questions. You can drop in your questions in the Q&A box at any time during the session. We'll address them at the end of the session. All right, let's get started. When we think about games today, they are no longer just standalone apps. They are dynamic systems. A game might launch quietly and suddenly scale to hundreds of thousands of users. The experience needs to stay smooth. The engagement needs to stay high. The visuals need to stay consistent. And behind all of this, there's a UX thinking, AI, and scalable design pattern systems working together. UX now determines whether a player stands beyond day one. AI helps personalize experience and optimize production. And scalable systems allows teams to build faster without breaking structure. So the real question is, how do you build a game that doesn't just launch successfully, but grows intelligently? To help us explore this, we have someone with deep hands-on experience in building and scaling impactful game experiences. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Dhilip Kumar. Welcome you, sir. Mr. Dhilip Mr. Dhilip is a vice president of design with over 20 years of experience across games and product innovation. When we say he has scaled design organizations from 0 to over 300 members, what that really means is this. He has built design teams from scratch, from having no structured design team to building and leading teams of over 3,000 designers, artists, and creatives. That's not just growth. That's building culture, systems, and standards from the ground up. Across his career, he has achieved 50 to 60% day one retention in casual games, nearly 3 times the industry average. Reduced art and design production costs by 75% using AI-powered production pipelines. Saved over $12 million annually through internal operational systems. Released multiple. He's also helped bootstrap a studio into the top 5 in India. What stands out is his ability to combine creative vision with measurable business outcomes, blending AAA level art direction, startup agility, and AI first innovation. We are truly honored to have him with us today, Mr. Dhilip Kumar. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm glad I never thought I would talk to people from my own hometown. Yeah. So I don't have anything to say. I'll start the questions because questions are more powerful than my answers. Yeah.
Let's move into the questions then. To start with, I'll begin with a few questions and then we'll open it up to the audience so that they'll also get a chance to interact with you. So let's dive in, sir. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. To begin with, my first question would be, many games get high downloads but low retention. From a UX standpoint, what usually goes wrong in the first 5 minutes of gameplay?
So first 5 minutes itself is like too much of a time. We should not talk about first 5 minutes. We should talk about first 10 seconds, and then break it down every 10 seconds what is happening in the game, right? So initially we used to build games like how we used to build movies, where we used to build games for 2 years or 5 years, and then we launch it, and then only we understand whether it's going to be a hit or a miss, right? It's like movie. It used to be a binary business, and building a game is not a binary business anymore. So what we do is, they have even found methods to understand what are the types of users we acquire, right? And sometimes we don't acquire the right users. And if you don't acquire the right users, the quality of users are not wrong, then they will install the game and they won't even play the game. And this is not going to give you a good retention, right? So it's job from the UX team to write qualitative guardrails and heuristics to tell the team that these are the signs that the players have not even started. And if the players are not even starting, these are the two possibilities where either the users are not good users, high quality users, or that is a problem with the system itself. Because day zero, you hire people on, you bring not hire, right? Let us take it like we bring in 100 users, and each users we have spent 1 rupees. So totally we have spent 100 rupees. So today our spend is 100 rupees. So designers, I'll talk about the metrics. So I'm going to talk about D0, D30, D1. D means day, right? The good retention and benchmark retention for any games is D1 should be 30%. It means if I'm bringing 100 users today, I need to retain 30 users on the next day, right? This is after D0. D0 is when the users come in. If the users are not going to the first 10 seconds or 30 seconds of the game, then there are not going to be users at D1, day one. So day zero is a problem, right? Day zero is the most important day. And the first 10 seconds is more important. One of the most important thing that we have found out is put the user into the game as soon as possible. So when any user comes to the game, they know they have seen your ad through some ad networks, and they are expecting to play that game, right? Instead of you asking them, like, oh, give me this information, give me that information, enable your mic, blah, 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 all those things. Like, don't ask anything. They have come to your game to play the game because they have seen something in the ad and they want to experience that. So in 10 seconds to 20 seconds, you can give that experience because the user have downloaded your app and they don't have to wait for a download anymore after the splash screen. Splash screens are nothing but the intro screens of a company or something. After that, they can immediately get into the game. The download or the loading screen should not even take more than 1 second. So within 1 second, the users have to get into the game. In the 10th second, they should be playing and they should have finished the level by 20th second, right? If they finish the level by 20th second without any lag, they are going to play more. They're going to play the next level, right? Within 20 seconds, if you give the player the feeling, I have completed this. Oh, this is exactly what I saw in the ad. These guys are not cheating. And you build a trust with the user. The moment you build a trust with the user that what they saw in the ad and what they play are the same, then you get the first 20 seconds milestone. The first 20-second milestone should be moved to 5 minutes. So there are a lot of things that we have to do from 20 seconds to 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, you're not going to ask the user anything. You're going to let them play, right? You're going to make them taste the pudding. Let them taste the pudding. Let them like it. If they don't like it, don't ask them anything. Just keep observing right events and analytics on every bit of the actions. There's a huge difference between game and an application. Application is built against a use case, right? But the games are not built against any use case. Users spam the screen. There are huge amount of inputs within a second on the gaming screen. They spam the screen. So it is very important to have very strong analytics and get a lot of feedbacks through these analytics. And designers have to ask the right analytics from the analytics team. So yeah, to answer your question, this is how much which goes within the, I can speak a lot based on targeted questions, but to keep it in sense of time, I hope this answers your first question.
That was greatly insightful. Moving on to the next question. What are the biggest UX differences between casual mobile games and competitive multiplayer games?
So casual mobile games, I'll take it as designs. I'll divide it into three domains. One is business side of it, and product side of it, and design side of it, the experience side of it. So business side, it's very simple. Casual games are free-to-play model where you bring in the user, make them use it for free, and then convert them. There are two types of business models in it. One is ad monetization. You monetize through ads. You make the player watch videos, like how Sun TV does. Make them watch serials and then monetize on those. And you have to make them grind and play the game again and again and monetize on them. Or make it so compulsive, so they do some in-app purchases, right? There's so many ads, but the game is so interesting, so they'll purchase no ad model, right? So that is the business model of the casual gaming. And the multiplayer can be a casual game or an RPG role-playing game, or an FPS or a first-person shooter games like PUBG, or even a simple puzzle game can be a multiplayer. Right? Multiplayer is when two people play, and there are two types of multiplayer. One is synchronized multiplayer, another one is asynchronized multiplayer. In synchronized multiplayer, players are synchronized in live time, and in real time. You need to have a very good internet connection. I don't know how many people play Dota, DOTA, or Counter-Strike or PUBG. Your internet ping should be very good, right? In asynchronized, it feels like you're synchronized. Casual games mostly use asynchronized or sometimes synchronized or turn-based, where now I'll play, after that you'll play. Now I'll play, after that you'll play, right? That's the turn-based multiplayer. Both of them won't be playing at the same time, like Ludo, right? It's a turn-based multiplayer games. So the business model in multiplayer games is going to be more interesting and more rewarding, because playing against another user itself bring in more pleasure and bring in the peer pressure element to it. And we don't have to work on a lot of levels, and people engage themselves with other users using emojis, chat, images, voice, and they sometimes start creating their own content, right? They create community. All those things are important for multiplayer games. So when it comes to product point of view, the metrics are very different, right? And here, see, the retention is important across all the games or even products, and retention is the best important metrics and in product where that's the top of the funnel. If you're bringing 100 people, if 70 people leave, it means you only have 30 people to make money with. So that is retention. If your top of the funnel is very good, like 60%, then you have a lot of people to make money with. So that is the product metrics, retention. Like I'm keeping it very simple. And so multiplayer games can be categorized into hardcore games and mid-core games and casual games. So playing a Candy Crush in a multiplayer is different. Ludo is different from playing Team-Pati, right? And or poker, or they are hardcore audience, and even hardcore audience, mid-core audience. The hardcore audience are people who like to shoot and see a lot of blood, and they're like FPS or Dota audience, right? They need heavy machines, heavy machineries, heavy RAM or GPU ability to play the game, like League of Legends, Dota, and games that have a lot of processing, need a lot of processing power. Yeah. So at design wise, both of them have very similar framework, and UX wise, it is very important to solve that see in casual game it is linear because there is an one event happens after another, but in multiplayer it's not like that. Events happen naturally, and live, and it is very important to communicate that to the user that this is happening in multiple regions. So map, inventory, side panels, HUD, so many other things are there in real-time multiplayer, right? So that is in a nutshell in three different perspectives.
That contrast really clarifies the difference. Moving on to the next question. Is AI in games currently overhyped, or are we just scratching the surface?
It depends on what is overhyped. So if you're expecting an AI to build a game, and you sleep and then wake up, and then next day there's a game which is making $1 million revenue per day for you, that is overhyped, right? But in reality, 2010, I used to have 300 member to 600 member team working and reporting to me, right? Like designers, art directors, modelers, texture artists, 3D generalists, animators, shader artists, developers, producers. So many people used to work with me, and I used to be a studio head of one of the top company. And so now during there was no AI during 2015. I had only 30 member team, but we launched 10 games in 2 years and made more money. Then now in 2000, so like 15 years, like now it's 2016, right? 10 years. I have only one. I'm the only guy, and there was one more the designer, only 2 people. We developed came in 6 months. So that is how AI is affected. Even as we speak, it's made us very efficient. But given said that, your eye doesn't see what your mind doesn't know. If you're not a well-trained artist in gaming industry, you don't have the sense of aesthetics, because in gaming or developing any applications, you need hard sense of aesthetics. To give a very good example, like Tata Indica is also a car. and Ferrari is also a car, but why the designer of Tata Indica is paid less and why the designer of Ferrari is paid high, right? So apart from engineering, the aesthetics also plays a part. So aesthetics is a very important part of the design and designing a game, but AI has democratized it, where any normal human being also can come up with good aesthetics because it's from previous data. But the problem is it hallucinates a lot. It doesn't give you a clean usable output. Um, there's so much of artifacts. AI doesn't know. So language models in AI are very good. AI can be useful in coding that has certain certainty, or AI can be helped in.
Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Actually, your voice is breaking.
Is it good now? Is it
Your
good now?
voice is breaking up. So sorry to. Yeah, it's breaking. We're not able to hear you properly.
Okay. I know my network is good. I'm on 5G. Voice is breaking or just the video is also? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay. So where did I leave? So see, AI is very good in. So fortunately, I did a master's in my AI with one of the university, and it was I didn't even know ChatGPT was not there. So I had some time, and I did my master's with Duke on product management for AI. That I learned really how AI works, right? What is that's going behind in AI? See, to your question, like, see, AI as an image generation tool is not great. It doesn't understand hard surface and soft surface, rigid body. It doesn't understand physics. It only understands images. So there's a lot of collision of geometry. There's so many things which we are not happy about. We are not able to use the images directly. Might be untrained eyes. It will be really good for the day-to-day activity. It's good for PPT. It is good, but not for game design, game art assets. Even now, we use Figma. We create our own assets, but it's expedited the thinking process fast. Right? See, it gives you an idea faster, and it has improved the. You don't have to write so much. You can transcribe it. It gives generate multiple ideas in big one. So the language model of AI is very strong, but the image generation model is still weak. We can't do much with it. We still have to pay digital marketing guys, creative guys, so much money to make ads for the games, right? And so, yes, if you think AI can make a game, that is a hype. But if has it improved the life? Yes, a lot. At least 75% in 20 years.
Interesting. That's a balanced take. What are practical use case of AI in gaming beyond NPC behavior?
See, this question itself is not in a great premise. So I'll try to. So NPC is very important for any games because bringing in a character adds a value to it. But AI can create an image of an NPC, but whether they can animating it and then getting a great output of that NPC using an AI is still not possible. Might be it is 1 or 2 years down the line it will be possible, but creating an image and then it will give it to you so you can cut and animate. Yeah, that itself has reduced like the time cost by to create that kind of image. For example, a pixel quality image, it used to take for one character it used to take might be 100 days, and now we can do it in a click. Yeah, if the art director has the right sense. And see, AI is nothing but your student, right? AI is built with generator and discriminator. the discriminator is really good, then definitely the output is going to be good. It depends on the art director who is getting the output from the AI. Yeah.
Course. Definitely broadens the AI perspective of it.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question. Could AI eventually replace certain roles in game design teams, or will it only augment them?
It doesn't replace, it hasn't replaced anyone, but it has reduced the number of people that is required. Because I'm doing a lot of things by myself. I don't need another artist, but because I'm an artist, I'm a sesame knife, where I can do product, art, and business by myself. So uh, if something is not happening, then I can do it by myself because AI is there. Um, but it has not replaced humans totally. And for humans are needed, creative people are needed, and AI is not creative. AI is bunch of data, bunch of history repeating itself in different skins. For example, like think about see, I think I have told this an analogy before, right? Rajinikanth can't be replaced, and even if he is an AI, they have to emulate Rajinikanth into an AI, and that's we are a long way through. And the storytelling cannot be replaced because, like, if AI is telling a story, it's going to tell the same old story because it comes from the same data, and you get bored of it. You can see that's an AI-based story. So AI is not going to replace. It's going to replace a lot of people where the output is redundant, where the answer is redundant. And see, if you're going from A to B and there's no diversion to it, then definitely AI can automate it and do it. And machine learning also does it. Not only AI, machine learning itself can do it. So, of course, a lot of testing, game testing will be replaced. Running a game, so I can build an AI where we are building an AI where to test a game like 1,000 new different scenarios. Simulation can be done. I don't need a tester. Testing roles and certain low-level product management, game designer role will be totally replaced. Only top game designers will be there. There won't be, or freshers who are very creative will be there, but storytellers won't be there. Game designers are not storytellers. Game designers are one who can balance. There's a lot of mathematics to it. In India, unfortunately, most of the game designers are storytellers. Yeah.
Got it. That's a really thoughtful way of looking at things. And what is, moving on to the next question, what does a truly scalable design system mean in today's product ecosystem?
So truly scalable, see, we can put a cap, right? There is nothing like truly scalable. We can say like time lasting, the design that has to last across time. Think about the bridge, Victor Bridge in Madurai, still is relevant, and still you're using it, right? If it is relevant across time, that's a good design. And your system has to be robust, even if the technology or trends change. The system has to be relevant. The bridge is still being in use. So the folder, the icon of folder icon is still folder icon for last 2 decades, right? It's not changed, and that's a good system. And the the mic or the camera icons have not changed. Terminate the call. So these are good systems, and people will relate to it. It's never going to be irrelevant for people. So these are fundamental. If the systems are very good, if the designer, for example, right? I'll give you an example. There was so Lockheed and Martin had a flight, and they were designing a flight, and this was during after Cold War. And like every flight, after every test flight, nearly for more than 7 years, every time when the test passes, and then it goes to the pilots in the Navy, and the flight crashes. They were so disappointed, and then literally they decommissioned the project. And when they decommissioned the project, they uh, conducted a heuristics. They conducted a postmortem with childrens from design school. And one of the kids, like after 10 years, like uh, asked, like, can we go and see those wrecks of all the flights which is being faced, especially that one model. It's a very infamous model. And that flight, then they found that the design student found that uh, it, usually the pilots are used to have ejection seat, eject your seat symbol on right side, and move up on the left side. And it was reversed in this flight. So the people who built the product, built the plane, their product people, they know that it is on the left and it's on the right. Their pilots were instructed. But when it went to the operating conditions, the user model was very different. So it didn't anticipate the user model. A good design system or a good designer anticipates the user model and anticipates the operating conditions as close as possible without even multiple takes. Yeah.
True. So that makes the scalability feel much bigger. What are the, moving on to the next question, what are the most common reasons design systems fail after being implemented?
Design systems. I don't know why there's a lot of questions about design systems. Design systems has to be flexible. Design systems are failed because of the myopia, product myopia, or the myopia of the people who are building. I don't know. I hope you understand the word myopia. Being myopic, being narrow-minded, and thinking that you know everything and building the product without even testing it, without even studying. That is when design systems fail.
Got it. People will mostly, see to that they don't do it. But mostly what will be the challenges they face is what. That was a valuable behind the scene point. Moving on to the next question. What is one scalability challenge you faced in a real project that teams rarely talk about?
Scalability. Humans are very difficult in scalability issues. Human resource is the biggest problem we have all faced. I need like 20 Dhilips, and but in cheaper cost. That is the biggest issue we have faced. That's where AI is helping. And human resource is the biggest issue till now. And consistency of output from the human resource is the biggest challenge, and right now. So it's always been that consistency and scalability of human resource with the same quality, right? That has been always a big challenge for any entrepreneurs.
True. So true. Moving on to the next question. What emerging trend in game UX do you think will dominate in the next 3 to 5 years?
You set up the trend, and sometimes you're lucky that will dominate. I know what is happening this year and now, but I don't know what is. If I know, I'll be doing that now. And but given said that, no one can predict what will dominate because of the way that technology is moving, and every day is the next day. Every day we need to keep it updated. More than trends, there are these pipelines, there are these standards that will always be there. The door is going to always have a handle or a mechanism to open the door. Do you know that Mahindra tried to remove the door handle and then add a flushed door handle? And the government has asked them to recall it because during fire it didn't come out. And during an accident, it didn't come out because they couldn't. So the old design systems that are robust can never be replaced. So stick to the good standards of design, and that will always be there. Trends keep coming and they keep changing. That's okay. It's like a skin. Every day you wear a new shirt. Tomorrow you wear a new Air Jordans. It keeps changing, but the classics, the foundations keep the foundation strong. What 5 years from now, what will be the trend? The spatial UX will be the trend. So you won't be having screens. You'll be having all the space around you because you will be wearing a glass, and everything will be happening through that. Yeah, that will be the trend.
Interesting if that happens. So if we are in
It
the
will
time.
happen. Yeah.
Sure. The next question is, if you were building a game app from scratch in 2026, what would you prioritize first? UX research, AI integration, or system scalability, and why?
I'm building a game, and first thing I'll do is like whether this game can make money, whether this game can. If I put 1 rupee, whether will I be getting 1.2 rupees back? So that is what I will be looking at. Whether this game has an audience. How expensive is it for me to buy an user for this game? Because if I can't buy, see, if I'm a deep pocket like Amazon, I can buy an user for 50,000 rupees per day, or $100 per user per day. But we can't afford that, and games can't afford it definitely. So at the max cap, the games can afford around $3 to $5 per user. So this is the highest. Like Clash of Clans, they spend like $10 to $50 to buy a user. So I will pick a game that can be built fast, launched fast, with good amount of quality, and that can make money in next 6 months. And that is how I'll think. That is me, because I am a metrics-driven guy, designer, and pick up an idea that can be really bankable and then work on it. So it is fruitful, right? And at least if you don't make money out of it, you know what happened. Because if something which can't be measured cannot be managed. Yeah, I'll pick up like that. I won't go based on story or creativity, or I don't believe in this FPS games where building for 5 years and then waiting like a hen to hatch the chicken.
That really puts things into perspective. Thank you. That's all. That's the questions we had for today. Thank you, Mr. Dhilip. That was very insightful.
Sure. Thanks.
I would now love to hear from everyone who has joined us today. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A box now. We'll take the next few minutes to address as many as we can.
So there is one question from Abhinesh. Hey Dhilip, what UX mistake does most game startup make early on? So most of them, they try to solve the big problem, and they don't try to solve. So they don't understand their strength and pick what game they have to work on. They are very ambitious. You have to pick a smallest problem, solve it, immediately send it to user, and then understand how it is received, right? That is more important for any game studio. So anyone who doesn't send their game as soon as possible to the user, they fail. The more longer you wait, they fail. You fail, and the team fails.
I hope he has answered your question, Mr. Abhinesh. I think people are typing. We'll just give it a few more minutes for the questions to come in.
Yep, sure. I'm also in for the chit chat.
Sure.
So, how is the weather in Madurai?
It's scorching hot here.
Right. Yeah, it's getting hotter here also.
We have one more question from Abhinesh.
Uh-huh.
He's asked any tools or frameworks you would recommend for game design system.
Paper and pencil. You have to come up with a framework depending on what game you're building. Every game requires a framework. Every game requires a different framework, different game mechanics. So you have to come up with it, and there is no one straight answer to it. But there are a lot of systems. So if you're building a casual game, these are the framework. If you're building an FPS game, these are the framework. You have to keep these things in mind. For example, like design framework, game design framework, the game has to be very easy. It has to have enough stickiness. From opening the app to opening the app, user should play at least 10 levels. Keep that as a major framework in your mind, that, okay, I have to build anything that is so sticky. The moment the user gets into the game, they have to play next levels, like next 10 levels without any drop. Then your game is good. More than a framework, these are benchmarks, right? And what are the mechanics you use to bring this is, there's so many games. You don't have to reinvent any framework. Play a lot of games, you will find how these progressions are. How do you choose the right research method for a project? So read a book called Mom's Test. It talks about how to choose the right research method for any project. But I don't believe in analysis paralysis. I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, but some things he said is like, see, whatever we have, we think we have to design from scratch has already been solved. Look at the history, they would have solved it. There is always research done on it, and fast follow what it's already there. So don't even try to reinvent the wheel. Most of it, what we are doing is already being done in some part of the world. Yeah, don't try to waste time on research until it is really necessary. How do you balance creativity and consistency in gaming? Creativity is a different thing, and consistency is a different thing. We don't have to balance each other against each other. Consistency is something which has to be there. There is no question. For example, the close button has to always be in the same place. Play button always in the same place. Play button once cannot be green, and then other place it cannot be red. When the users open the game, it has to open exactly in the same spot where they left. Like you seen YouTube, the persistent experience. When you shift the YouTube from your phone to TV, it always plays from the same place, right? So the consistent, persistent experience should always be there. There is no balancing in it. But creativity is debatable. If you want to make something totally new where the world has never seen and there is no market for it, go for it. Because that's what master painters do. They do paintings. They don't even wait for the others to evaluate, right? You do it for your own happiness. If you want to do that, do it. But if you want to make money, study the trend and keep your creativity within the, like Rajinikanth movies. All Rajinikanth movies are same formula. Padayappa, Annamalai, whatever you see, it's the same formula, Rajinikanth in different skins. So there is no creativity in it, but still the movie runs because of creative visuals. right? So you can balance the how you portray it, how you make it look. The core can be same. The framework of the story is the same, like Act One, Act Two, Act Three. Here, Rajinikanth rises from rags to riches. With AI, increasingly being used in game development for character creations to adaptive and PC behavior, like in X Arc Riders, okay, where bots react dynamically to player actions. Do you think risks expecting or replacing human artists, or AI is simply another tool? AI is just simply another tool. Um, mm, so you are going to use the AI, and so your fundamentals are strong. AI is not going to replace you. AI is not going to replace James Cameron. It can only make another movie like James Cameron. It cannot make a movie with James Cameron might do that new, right? And the next James Cameron movie is not going to be the previous one. So AI can do the part 2 of Avatar, but not the new movie of James Cameron. So AI can do only what it's already there. It can make multiple seasons, but it cannot make a new episodic by itself. It cannot. It is not going to replace creative people. It is not going to replace humans in any soon. Okay, why do I seriously say that? Because the processing power of the processors have come to the threshold. We have already hit the nanometer size of transistors. We have gone close to the size of an atom. So if we have reached the size of an atom, we can't do anything more than that because it cannot work as a switch. So we have only limited processing power. So AI cannot do much until we have some other totally new technology. AI is going to be stuck with this render engines or GPU. So it cannot replace humans. We are very powerful beings, and our thinkings are very uncertain. I'll take more time to answer this because, like, I really want to nail this to people who are afraid of AI or shy of AI. Use it, ride on the wave, be on the top of it rather than being afraid of it. Share market cannot be predicted, and if there are AIs which are predicting share markets, there will be an AI which is more richer than a human, and there will be humans who are making so much money out of AI. Predicting share markets is very difficult because there's so many variabilities and humans are involved in it. And when humans are involved in it, it's very difficult for AI to predict because human brain is very different from how AI is. Human brain can create new things. AI cannot. How can designers balance creativity and consistency building design system for game apps? I think it's the same redundant question. Consistency has to be there. I'll choose to answer it again. Consistency has to be there. Creativity can be a balance. It depends on the project and runway, the time, money you have. Creativity can be a balance. And design systems. Building a design system. See, what is design system? System is something which it's a standards, right? You set a standards and keep using it again and again. Every game is new. Every game should be seen as a new project, and then you need to be building. But if you're building a family of games within your company, you can use a design system. So the visual language and the language of your experience is same. Yeah. Otherwise, every time you create a new game or for the new company, systems are going to be changing and it won't be consistent. Experience can be consistent. Yeah, there are things like, I want to put the users as fast as possible into the game. Don't ask any questions at the beginning of the game. That is a system, right? That experience is a system. That flow is a system. Flow can be good. So valid information, there should not be anything less than 44 by 44 pixel. Those kind of standards can be there. Otherwise, you need to come up with the flow and systems. Casual games has their own systems. FPS games has their own systems. These systems are already there. You can learn it from those games. You don't have to create from scratch, reinvent the wheel.
We have few more questions. We have one more question from Sangeeta, which
I
is
have all
what
the time
role.
to answer them. I'm not so busy, so I will answer them. I would really want to answer the questions of those kids.
From Sangeeta, it is what role does player-centered UX play in improving engagement and retention in modern game apps?
See, this player center, it's like user centered. I think it's a different paraphrasing of user centered and the player centered. We call players, you call users. See, you need to retention. Okay, why do you eat every day? Why do you brush your teeth every day? Why do you dress well? If you don't dress well, that's not my problem. You are one of those cases. And we hit dopamine, right? Like when you put the users in the dopaminergic pathway, I hope you understand what is dopaminergic pathway. We do any behavior because of reward cycle, right? Just note it down. Risk, resource, reward, resource, trigger, reward, and risk. These four are the components. Right? Keep this in mind, not only for games, for any behavior. Games are nothing but behavior. We create a pathway to people to get addicted. So when I don't want to take bad examples. I don't want to talk about alcohol or any other bad addiction. Let me call motivation, right? Why do people like sugar? Why do they crave sugar? Because it puts you in a dopaminergic pathway. Why do people uh, eat carbohydrates every day? Because it gives them dopamine. Why are they not able to eat protein? Why they're not able to go and work out? Because sitting in a chair and then meddling with your phone gives you dopamine at the spot, so you don't have to go and do workout. So um, how when you hit the dopaminergic pathway, right, they become addictive. When you give them again and again, they become addictive. Dopamine, it's a science, right? Dopamine is a short acting chemical. Dopamine is not like its half-life is very small. Once it comes, it goes off. Once it goes off, your brain craves for dopamine again. That's called withdrawal. And when you have this withdrawal, then they want to play this game again. It's a very bad thing for me to say, but this is the cycle. So now resource. What is the resource? Let's say a sugar sweet shop is the resource. When you go across the sweet shop, you see the sweet shop, and then you have the anticipation to dopamine. And what is the trigger? The banner is the trigger. Oh, man, it tastes good. That is a trigger. So put a different shop instead of sweet shop, right? You can put that analogy there. So then if you remove the trigger, so trigger plays a role. Like for example, I meet this guy, and whenever I meet this guy, I feel like eating paratha because this guy triggers it. Like instead of paratha, you can think about so many other things. So that guy is a trigger. Time is a trigger. Evening 6 o'clock, man, my hands are shaking. So evening 6 o'clock, I feel like running. I always like to run. I need to do that. Right? You can just create habits. So trigger, resource, trigger, and reward. So when resource and trigger are there, it will easily lead to reward. When you remove one component from this cycle, this framework, behavior cannot happen. If you remove the sugar, even if there is a trigger, reward is not there. So the very important component in any behavior in games is trigger and reward. So there used to be a scientist called Dr. Pavlov. He used to, it's called reinforcement schedule. He keeps food for his dog exactly at the same time and rings the bell. So at some point of time, he stops ringing the bell, but still the dog comes because the dog's biological clock tells the dog to anticipate for the reward. At some point of time, he doesn't even bring food, but he came and kept the plate. He looks for the plate. The dog comes and looks for the plate. And then once he hurt his dog, the dog, well, when he came early and he came late, and the next day when the dog didn't come, thinking there is no food, he kept the food. So that is this new component he introduced called risk. So if you don't come every day, there is a risk you might miss the food. So risk is also a bigger factor. So you have to balance and play it very carefully. For example, in Subway Surfer, most of them would have played Subway Surfer. You keep running, and when you stop running, the police will catch. That's the risk. Keep running, you collect coins, that's the reward. Trigger, when you see the push notification, oh, your friend has bypassed your score, peer pressure is the trigger. The device is there, resource, you play the game, right? So it's simple. So you can apply that to any application. I don't know why applications are not even using this. Swiggy, immediately, oh, you have not ordered food, you're hungry, dopamine kicks in, and then you order food, like splurge on it, and get fat and whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah, resource, trigger, reward is the basic framework for any games. And risk is very important. Without risk, people will get bored only if there is reward.
I have a few more questions. We have another question from Abhinesh. What design trend in game apps do you think is overrated right now?
Everyone wants to build an FPS games. That is overrated. First person shooter game. Yeah. And people using AI, idiots have access to AI. So idiots are using so much AI and then they're polluting. Yeah.
We have another question from Karthikeyan. Hi, sir. How do you design a layout that works across mobile, tablet, and desktop in Figma?
Okay, this is a very technical question. There's a lot of YouTube tutorial on this. You don't need me to answer that, but so it's called responsive design, right? And see, games are not built in Figma. Figma is just used for flow and look and feel of it. A handoff is never done in Figma because the games are built in Unity or Unreal. Unreal has a very weird way of you can't scale so many things. It's very difficult. You have to build 4 or 5 different scenarios, 4 different 5 systems for different devices. So we build for iPad, long screen, and iPhone screen. So that is how we build, because we can't build for multiple scenarios. So whatever Unity offers, that is what we build for. Yeah. Every time we build, we need to readjust and recalibrate the screen. Yeah.
We have one other question from Darshini. What advice would you give to aspiring game UX designers?
Don't be game UX designers, just become a UX designer who knows game UX also. So it's good to be multi-talented. Don't get yourself stuck into one domain. That will acute your opportunities. So try to be as good as possible with multiple. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have to be a game UX designer? You have to be a very good artist. Your aesthetic ability should be very good. You need to understand character design. You need to understand so many things, because it all comes into play, right? You need to understand art direction, animation. It has more difficulty than regular UX. Yeah.
This answers your question. We have 2 more questions to go. What are the common UX mistakes companies make when scaling their digital products?
Scaling their digital products. Common UX mistakes they make when digital. As far as I have seen, they don't relate to user. They just they scale, they forget the user, and the product changes from A to Z, because that would have been a reason why the product connected with the user. They will forget the footprint and identity of the product. So keep the identity of the product even when you scale. So for example, right, Apple is still Apple. Since though they have scaled, everything has changed. Apple is still Apple. You can connect with it. It's consistent. You don't have to recall anything when you pick up an Apple device. So, so that consistency is very important, right? Sorry, I need to cut a call that's coming. So the consistency is the key, right? There is no other thing. So even when you scale, keep the identity and the core of the product consistent. If it's not consistent, user are gonna, for example, I'll give you an example. So one fine day, eBay tried to make their so eBay their search, they tried to make the background white. It was yellow before. Every users dropped. There was a huge drop in people coming into and then dropping without even making a first click. They did it because like Google had white and center search, and eBay's identity was yellow envelope and there's something. Right? People dropped it. So when they immediately see something and then copy it, it won't work for you. You're scaling. People will come and then they'll feel, oh, this is not the same app. Might be I have landed in a different page, and then they left. Then they found a way to gradually scale from gradually change from to in 2 years. Every day it slowly changed to white. Yeah, that's what they make. When you scale, pay attention to the users. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We have one last question from Karthikeyan. How do you balance graphics performance and
what is this? What is AI, sir? Nice question. Yeah. So seriously, even I have that question, man. What is AI? Yeah. Okay, AI is. I'll try to answer the question. Hope you want to be diligent and you're really asking this question. AI is not intelligent, right? It is a language model. It understands language. It is built on transformers. So we have neurons in our brain. Different neurons are for different reasons, and these neurons connect with each other to create a new knowledge. It's called neural synapses. So in AI, there is something called transformers. They connect with each other, which are pre-built with pre-trained and untrained data, and so they have higher dimension. It is called higher dimension. In AI, there is something called higher dimension. So they have a lot of points in there. For example, if I say car, it will go to the dimension and try to collate something from that area and give it to you. So that's how it NLP, natural language processing. That's really good. That is what AI is. It can understand language really well, but otherwise image it can't understand. It has something called RAGs network, which they use to discriminate it. AI is based on generator and discriminator. These GPT models are where there are generator, they keep generating noise, and discriminator make sure it discriminates and the noise is equal to what the output of the user and the prompt is, right? So that is what AI itself is. So it's throwing a bunch of stones in the blue sky on the pond, and only one comes to you back. A group of things come to you back, and that is what AI is. Yeah. So in Tamil, kurta pokla potu correcta varada mattum pidichukkuradhu. And in English, it's called intervals. So there is an interval, and that interval is what we are seeing as AI. And to do so much of answers, That is why it needs huge GPU.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for patiently addressing each and every question. And it was very much, and the way you handled this was very interesting. And as we come to the end of today's session, Mr. Dilip, sir, thank you once again for sharing your experience and insight so openly. It's been a truly engaging and enriching discussion. To everyone who joined us, thank you for your time and participation. Your presence makes these conversations meaningful. This has been Tech Talks by .com Infoway's episode 2. We look forward to welcoming you all to our episode 3 very soon, where we'll continue exploring powerful intersections of design, technology, and innovation. Until then, stay curious, keep building, and keep pushing boundaries. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
making it happen and
Yeah.
for making it engaging to our audience, that they have poured so many questions, and hope they have all been addressed.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
See you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, and have a nice day.
You too.